All right, we are going to do the same thing one more time. I'm looking for increasing intervals of my function. I am constant at the beginning, then I am decreasing. Here I am increasing, and then I decrease again. So there actually is only one interval over which the function is increasing. And it began increasing at an x value of 0. So it began increasing from 0, and then it continued increasing until here. Which appears to be an x value of 6. So between the x values of 0 and 6, it appears this function was increasing. So then I will look for the section of the graph where it was decreasing. There were two portions where it was decreasing. So beginning at an x value of -5 until 0. And then again, so that's this part. So from -5, 0. And then I'm uniting that with the second portion of the graph where it's decreasing, which began at an x value of 6 and continued for the rest of the domain, so from 6 till infinity. Now I'll look for the positive and negative portions of the graph. So the negative portion means it's below the x-axis. So there's sort of two sections that will be there. And then for the positive portion, it means above the x-axis. So that would be this portion of the graph here, as well as this portion of the graph here. So I'm going to pick these two sections for the positive. I don't see an arrow, and the graph didn't end before the function ended. So I am going to assume that this is essentially a filled in point right here. And with that assumption, I would say that the positive portion of the domain, or the x values that are producing positive values, do begin at -10, and they continue until, I wrote over top of this, but I think it was -3. I'm going with -3. And so that was the first portion. Then I'm uniting that with the section of the graph that I believe is crossing the x-axis at 2 here. And then it crosses, I think this is a 7. I'm going to say 7. So from 2 to 7. Remember, we are using x values here to describe these. So from here until here, it was above the x-axis, and then it was also above the x-axis from here to here. So from 2 to 7. All right, so then the other part of the graph that was below the x-axis was between those two values there, so between the -3 and the +2. And I'm uniting that with the other portion that was below, or negative values of the function. Those occurred after the 7 and on for the rest of the function. I do believe this goes off of the graph, so I am going to assume that it continues in that direction forever. So we'll say to infinity, and that would be it.